Hi folks, I'm Jason Kay from the Marketplace.
I'm Gareth Alexander, also from the Marketplace.
And today we're going to share with you some of the questions we get from various clients and people we meet. What we're going to do is to mix it up a little bit. We're going to ask a question of each of us, and we have no idea what the other person's going to ask us, so it could be quite interesting. We're going to do it in one take. We're not going to have any scripts or anything like that, so let's see how we go. So, Gareth.
Oh, you're going first?
No, you can ask me because I'm going to ask you.
Writing it down.
All right. So, see, Gareth's put some preparation in, but I haven't put any preparation in yet. So, but it's all in here. It probably will show you, right?
So we get a lot of questions about what we do. So we do tendering, bid writing, procurement-related activities, grants, grant applications, all sorts. So we get asked a lot of questions, some good ones, some interesting ones, and some odd ones. So we're going to try and the plan for this really is to try and address any questions that you asked. So if you've got any questions, just let us know as well. So my question for you, Jason.
Is it an odd one?
No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
I think it's a bit boring, actually.
Yeah.
In your experience, what is the biggest misconception about public sector tenders that puts companies and people off from bidding? Quite good, that one, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Let's pause the camera and give me half an hour to think of a response. Just read it again for me, just to make sure I get it right.
Oh.
Well, I don't want to...
Reading it twice. In your experience,
yeah,
what is the biggest misconception
about public sector procurement?
Or public sector tenders
Okay.
that puts companies off bidding for them? Because we get that quite a lot, don't we?
Yeah,
People say, I don't want to bid for this.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so in my experience, my opinion, the biggest misconception is that the tenders are fixed, that they're always going to go to the incumbent supplier, the person who the buyer wants. Not saying that doesn't happen, but the way the regulations are written mean that it shouldn't happen, and it should be a fair, open and transparent process. Now, if you know what the regulations are, that's quite easy to make sure that's the case. But if you don't, and they are quite complicated, then you need to get some specialist advice if you think that's the case. But there are ways, and we have certain things we do when we're working with clients around tenders to make sure that the tenders are run in the correct manner, and to make sure that the contracting authority carries out the tender in the right way and follows the rules, because unfortunately that's not always the case. But I think I'd be confident in saying around 95% of tenders are run correctly. The other 5% are either not run correctly on purpose, or the people who are carrying the tenders out don't always understand what the regulations are. And sometimes that's the buyers themselves, but other times where in some organisations they allow people outside of the procurement team to carry out tenders. Generally this is where the tenders are below a certain threshold which the organisation has set. So it may be under £50,000, then somebody else can carry out a tender. Unfortunately, those people are generally not trained and don't understand the regulations, so that's another time when the regulations are not followed. But the biggest misconception is that tenders are fixed and you've got no chance of winning them. With the right help and with the right skills and understanding, you would have every chance of winning it as equal chance to anybody else.
Well, we've seen some good examples, haven't we, where some of the buyers have clearly cut and paste from previous tenders, and the dates are wrong, the information's there, it calls out other suppliers in it.
Yeah.
And I think this is clear to me, is that the belief is the buyer knows everything, and that isn't always the case, is it, I think?
No, and to be fair, and I'll probably get shot for saying it, but without generalising too much, the calibre of buyer, procurement staff or person carrying out the tender procurement varies greatly, and it's perceived, rightly or wrongly, that in the public sector that they're not as good as the private sector buyers. Certainly within the profession, that's how things are perceived. So there's a great mixture in terms of capability and experience and ability, and sometimes you get a bad one.
I also think as well, with the reductions in the public sector spending in general, the cut number of teams, people down, haven't they, local authorities, and you can see
absolutely.
That's
absolutely. I've worked in public sector on numerous occasions and seen procurement departments reduced. Often the most senior procurement people go because they're paid the most and they're the biggest saving on the budget. you know, and with that goes the experience and the reduction in risk for that organisation for doing something wrong, you know, against regulations. But it does vary quite a lot.
So that was quite a good question, really. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was quite a long answer, I guess. Did I answer the
I
question?
was looking for a yes or a no, but you just waffled on a bit.
Diversifying? No. Anyway, just going off track a little bit. It's Friday afternoon. Going off track a little bit. My number one tip is that people don't answer the question when they're responding to a tender, when they're writing a bid, because that's the biggest failure I see when I review tenders for organisations, is the fact that they don't actually answer. They'll put a response in, but they don't answer the question. A bit like a politician. So hopefully I didn't do that and I answered the question.
You articulated it very well.
Thank you very much, Gareth. Okay, so now on to my question then. Now, I was trying to think of a really good, difficult... Phone's ringing. Embarrassing question. Let it ring. If it's you ringing, we'll be back to you in a minute. 1471. So my question to you is, you do a lot of grant applications for companies large and small, private sector, not-for-profits, the whole hog. Can you tell me and tell the watchers, the viewers, all 6 of them, what the best type of client is and what the worst type of client is when doing a grant funding application for an organisation?
So I'll start for the worst type of client, is they believe a grant is free money. So the perception is, if it's free money, then I don't have to do anything. Or it's just, I should be able to just get that without having to do much. And I always look at it this way, a grant, it's like if you're going to borrow money off your bank, or you're going to borrow some money off your dad when he was younger, and you're going to go out, you've got to plead your case. Why do you need that money? So when people come in with it's free money, I should be able to get it that easy, they're the ones that tend to take the longest to get through, or even sometimes go through the process and then quit, because I'm asking for information about profit and loss, cash flow, business plans, stuff that you'd expect that any business should have. So they tend to be the worst type of clients, really.
Are they the sort of clients that don't have that information to hand?
Yeah, you do. And it's like we've done a lot of work with clients in the past where we've pulled a lot of that stuff for them together. I helped them pull the information out themselves and put it together. But to me, if you're asking for money for something or for a grant, it's to improve your business or improve your operations, or it's to help fund an activity, you must already know there's a need for it. So to me, you think, that grant will work for us, or we were trying to do this type of innovation.
So you should have put some work in up front and have that, and every business should have a business plan anyway, and know the profit and loss.
And all good business plans to me are flexible and change. That's just part and parcel of being in business. But to me, when the logic is, or the thought process is, well, it's free money, that I think is always a warning sign, because people don't realise there's time and effort to put through it. Best type of clients, the ones that I think will want to grow and expand and are flexible. So one of the frustrating things with grants is sometimes it can take longer than anticipated. The quickest grant I've ever had approved recently was 15 minutes from paperwork going in, and one is 18 months. But there's a reason for that, because the one that takes 18 months, there's a massive high value to it. So you're going to get a lot of money coming into your business for these reasons, so it takes a lot of time and effort. But those clients, to me, that understand the long game and how the business is operating, what they want to use the money for, they're the ones that are better to work with, because they have all the information at hand. I don't expect everything to be right. That's what our job is, to make sure it's correct and it's what the grant application is expecting. But it's the businesses that want to grow and have all that information in place. They're the best ones, really. And we're happy to work with any business, but even the ones that are big and have all the information, tight deadlines. So we've done many late night shifts to get grants completed in time for cut-off dates, because you ask questions of the business that they thought, I've never thought of that before. Oh, what do I need to do about this? Or how have we got the cost together? Have you got all the type of costs in place? Have you got 3 estimates? All these type of things that end up part and parcel of a grant application. So it's the ones who want to grow and want to grow the business are usually the better applicants, really. Does that answer your question?
No, can you just run that past me again?
No, I can't.
Yeah, great answer. And to be honest, that's what I thought you'd say. You know, because we've had many.
So you're just testing me.
Yeah, well, we've had many conversations, haven't we, about clients who have got no information and you're going to produce it for them and so on. And obviously that takes time and costs money. But the clients, some clients come and you say if you've got a business plan, if you've got a profit and loss forecast, and they've got it all, and just send it through. Makes the job much easier.
Yeah, and like the biggest warning sign for me whenever the siren goes off the most is when someone says, I'm after some free money. Because nothing in life is free.
No.
Right?
No.
There's time and effort that needs to go into it. So to me, when someone says, I want free money, well, we've turned clients down before. Because they don't have time and effort. It's aspiration management. It's about all this work and effort is going to create this in the end, but it takes time and effort to get there. So yeah, that's about it really.
Okay, good stuff. Well, hopefully that's been of value to you. If you've got any more questions, pop them in the comments below.
Down here.
Yeah, down here, not under the table, but underneath there'll be a comment section. Pop your questions there, and we'll maybe include them in the next video. So we'll do another video next week. We're going to do this every week, so one video a week, and hopefully it'll help to deliver a bit of value and let you understand a little bit more about what we do, whether that's grants, tenders, or whatever it is. So have a look at the website. We've got a new website being launched, hopefully when you watch this video later this week. We're very, very close. It's one of a kind, first in the UK, and we'll tell you more about that on the next video. So the URL for the website is the-marketplace.com. And so please have a look at that, and any questions, give us a shout.
Yeah, great stuff.
So look forward to next time, and make sure you subscribe if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're on LinkedIn, make sure you like it and share it, and don't forget to put your comments below on any questions you want to pose to either of us. Whatever they are, we'll give you an honest and open answer.
Yeah.
Okay, good. See you next time.
See you later.